Anyway, last session.
Who am I? Damien.
Does anybody remember what happened last session?
Some
Uh,
imps were
We sought out information from information brokers and the governors.
mm-hmm.
Right? That's a pretty accurate statement of what happened. So we
And
begin this session with Texas Red holding an imp down with a. Does it still have a knife in its hand?
I, I don't know.
No, you're the one who has a knife in the hand, so it's up to you.
Sure, it still has a knife. Well, no, because it's been like hours, so not that horrible of a person.
All right.
really
So,
could have
Texas Red is holding an imp hostage
Mm-hmm.
and holding a sending stone in the other hand. And as you guys wait for a response from the anti-party, a response that spoilers probably won't come. You hear you hear sounds coming from the other sending stone, the one that you have from Dragath. You have two things in your hands, Texas Red. Which one are you going to draw?
I'm gonna roll a die. Whatever's in my left hand.
So
All
what's
right,
in your left hand?
I don't know.
All right, roll me a d2 again. If you roll a 1, it's the imp.
Okay. Guess I'm not dropping the imp.
All right.
Drop the other sending stone.
You drop the sending stone. All right.
It shatters.
You drop the sending stone and it bounces along the ground because it's a rock.
Crisis averted, guys.
You pick up the sending stone. You hear the sounds of Dragath coming in from the other side. Texas Red, it has come to our attention that you have committed acts of violence against devils without being given the permission to do so. Based off of the way he's talking, you don't need to roll tell that. It sounds almost like he's reading off of like cue cards or something. Due to this, our top boss has sent some of her lawyers to fix the issue for you. However, this will cost you. I will need verbal agreement to the following contract. You and your group will now be forcibly added to the contract already made with Volk. In addition, you and only you will be responsible for performing extra tasks during that assignment, which will be disclosed at a later time. On top of all of that, you are to meet the boss in her lair at a predetermined time, which will be sent to you when you are in a safer location. Failure to meet any of these will result in extreme punishment, worse than you can possibly imagine. In addition, due to my failure to lead your group, I will be meeting you guys there. Do you agree to the terms?
Sure.
Do you understand that failure to meet these terms will result in your group's immediate transformation into lemures to suffer a permanent state in that form?
Sure.
Good. Then you can then the contract is basically signed. Good luck. And almost as if you're not supposed to hear it, you hear, I'll be needing that.
Can we do well, not me, but would someone be able to do like a check to identify that voice?
You know it's Dragath.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like a background.
No. You also can see, or sorry, Damien, you can tell Torun is shaking a little bit from this.
So, like, it sounded like he was reading off of cue cards. almost.
Wait, did the rest of us hear that? Is sending stone? It's not like out loud, right? Or is it mental?
It's out loud.
Oh.
I mean, unless you want this to be hidden information from you, I wouldn't be questioning this.
Pro tip: if we make it hidden, the responses are still the same. You just don't know I responded to it.
Correct. But also, Brian, can you remind me exactly the termage of my contract with Dragath? It was
Yes.
You are to fill an impossible task, right?
Yes, which has not been stated to you yet.
okay.
Which
Simple
means
enough.
that on top of that, Texas Red needs to do a task on top of the impossible task.
I'm
Well,
gonna be a busy person.
I suppose we will be.
So he sounded like he was reading off of something. But considering that he's saying that he's gonna meet us here, that's kind of worrying.
Well, didn't he say? I thought it meant that he would be meeting us at the boss's lair.
Do you know what they do on the sixth layer?
Nothing good.
That's where the devils get tortured.
Oh, that's not good. To put it lightly, of course. Now, I don't mean to undercut the extremely pertinent information we were just given.
But we should focus on the task at hand.
Right, we'll deal with the consequences later of our current actions.
Mm-hmm.
We do we have any further reason to stay here?
The anti-party. We still have to get all the answers for these questions that our contact gave us.
And this is still the same day, correct? That we
Yes,
went to
this
those
is.
people.
Yes, it has basically been 10 hours out of your 48-hour time limit.
Okay.
Just as a reminder of your location, you are in the second inn. Your first inn is where you went and slept overnight, where Gial and Torun magically teleported from, and where the two imps that you went and sent out to go and spy were supposed to meet up with you guys at.
Right, we should probably check back in with them.
So the second inn is the one that the imps that were following us followed us to. From what we understand, they don't know about the first inn.
Correct. Okay, let's see here. How do we flip the tables on the anti-party? So there are a couple options we have. We can go back to our original inn. Or sorry, first option is the do nothing option. We wait here for the time limit to run up. We go back to after 24 hours have passed, or 12 more hours. We go back to
The governors.
the governors and our information broker, the seeker, if you will, and have them get our information and then relay it to however the information is relayed. And then the other option is we try and we go back to the inn, get information from our imps, and see if we can discover where the anti-party is. Because if we can find where the anti-party is, there's a possibility of us stacking the deck a bit. There's a chance that we could recover our gear and equipment. So, what does everybody think?
Well, I volunteered to stay here with you, so you guys can actually do things. I think at this point, I've served my usefulness in the information gathering.
There is a decent chance if we go out to recover our gear the anti-party we will confront the anti-party. I wouldn't want to do that with half strength or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
When you say recover our gear, you mean the vehicle, right? I didn't-
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, we
Just wanted
also
to make
have
sure I
gear on
like
the
missed
vehicle.
sometime, like that we got robbed in the middle of the night or something.
Yeah, no.
Also, we could steal their crates if we wanted to. If the opportunity presented itself. We already know the anti-party isn't going to play fair, so I see no reason to set any rules for this engagement. Petra, I know you don't have as much, or really any dealings with this anti-party, but what do you think?
Well, you think no? I do want to help you guys, and I'm definitely going to. I want to keep on cooking for you. So I will continue cooking for you, but I need to make you money first. So what I'm thinking of doing myself, I'm going to go to old bar, okay, old place, and await our little ice devil friends. And in the meantime, I'll cook and await for their responses. And then I also take cash in. And of course, I'll be listening in it too, providing an extra set of ears at this place. I think that's best for me to do at this time.
There is a decent chance that the anti-party already knows that you are with us.
But they do not know that I have not really. I've assisted you, but I'm primarily your chef.
Yes, but I think it's more guilt by association. I don't think you should lean too heavily on the "I'm not with this group anymore."
That is
It's
very
a-
true. That is very true. However, I think you are doubting one thing, Volk. The power of food. Okay. I'm going to be going to bar with many strong devils. If they start attacking me, they're not like it because they love my food. You'd be very surprised. The bar that we went to earlier? They would have dropped anyone dead if they would have dared lay their hands on me. I assume that would be case here. I just need to wow them with my food.
It more is of the point of, yes, I would appreciate the funds and they would assist our effort greatly, but you getting kidnapped would not be, is a great concern for us, and also it would give away our location. They would know that we have some presence in the area.
So then how are we supposed to reach our ice devil friends or our
I'm saying
I
the mere act of cooking would give us a way to the anti-party. It would cause a commotion. Something that could easily be spied upon with ice imps, as we have seen.
So you expected me not to cook? Oh, Volk, you hurt me.
I expect us to deal with the anti-party. However, that can come before or after the cooking.
Okay, I'll make the deal. Okay, I'll do what you say. However, everyone in this party must eat my food. They must eat extra big meal. That includes our Texas friend, and he must not throw it up. He has to eat it.
Pretty sure he's a herbivore.
So you're trying to hold Texas Red hostage. I cannot see this not working out well.
All I want to do, Texas, is I want you just to enjoy my cooking. I think your demeanor will definitely change.
So
Just
you
give
get to
me
enjoy your
opportunity.
cooking by force feeding them?
Yes.
I don't want to force feed you. That you don't want to enjoy food like
No,
that.
it's okay. I understand. You are not a good enough cook to win me over just by, me seeing and visualizing your meal. I have to try it. So your presentation skills are clearly lacking. If you can't entice me to want to eat your food willingly, it's fine. We all have shortcomings. I have a temper sometimes. Not usually, but just sometimes, and I admit that.
I'm going to whisper something in Damien's ear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna whisper over to Damien. Make sure he eats my food, okay?
No promises, but yeah,
Try
he
your best.
probably
That's
will.
all I can ask.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
All right. So you want to just lay back, Zenvolk? Is that the case?
Well, I'm as strange as it would sound, I would prefer we strike against the anti-party as soon as possible. more to the fact that, well, they're going to be searching for information, and hopefully we can catch them unaware. It just would be a change of pace for us to finally catch the anti-party with the one.
So, question.
Mhm.
This is it? And this is not out loud. This is just talking to like the group and DM. Levistus is the one guy in the
In the iceberg.
iceberg, right? If we just start attacking the anti-party or vice versa, what would happen? Like, do we see a lot of just general fights break out where people just die?
Roll me a knowledge. I would allow you to roll knowledge proficiency on this. We'll call it knowledge law. You have been in hell for quite a while
Can I
compared to the rest
assist?
of these people. So, yeah, I'll allow you to assist. Petra, you
yeah.
have advantage on this, and you also have proficiency. So it's an intelligence proficiency that you have advantage on.
Okay, so this is gonna be with a +4 to it.
All right, Petra, you know that while Volk got a license to bear arms and to basically carry them around, he did not get a license to commit murder.
I shall bring that up to Volk.
License to commit murder. Interesting.
I think it's maybe best that we all get that, just in case we need to make a little ruckus, if you know what I'm saying.
Well, you don't
Of
need a
course.
license to commit murder if you're defending yourself. 'Cause that's
Is
not
that
murder,
true?
it's just
Ryan,
self-defense.
can you refresh my memory? Where did we get these licenses at a licensing place, like a licensing office?
Basically,
All
the
right.
equivalent of Hell's DMV.
Excellent.
You know, Hell's
So-
DMV, where the lines are slower.
My idea is the anti-party probably thought ahead, and they probably already issued licenses for committing murder, or probably licenses we didn't even think of. If we go there posing as ourselves, posing as the anti-party, posing as ourselves, we might be able to get a cheaper fee by getting the licenses reissued to ourselves as opposed to buying new licenses. It's so devilish, it might just work. I'll tell you what. We could... Petra could cook. Damien and I could go get these licenses. And Texas Red could guard the equipment. The chests. That way we'd be accomplishing something and see where that gets us. Any complaints?
So you wanted me to cook now? I thought we said you didn't want me to cook.
Well, the issue is the circumstances have changed.
All right.
Where- Yes. It'd be more beneficial for us to have money in this circumstance than to keep you a secret.
I'll cook in this bar. How does that sound? That way, if there's a commotion, you guys will be around. How about that?
Well, with Texas Red will be back at the original bar. Damien and I will be at the paperwork issuing office.
Mm-hmm.
At best, you'll have Gial, or possibly Torun. But at
Do
least
you
this
think I should go to the old bar with Texas and cook?
perhaps. I feel like we've already established ourselves there. The devil is there will be more willing to pay money for your services, and you would have more reliable bodyguards. Tarun can stay there and keep an eye on you if anything happens to you.
Mm-hmm.
Of
And
course,
we'll-
I do that.
We'll let Damien and I know.
Mm-hmm.
And technically, I think Texas. Can we use the sending stone as kind of like a telephone almost? Like Texas Red could send a message to Dragath, and Dragath could send a message to me.
You can try, but you'd have to convince Dragath to be in on it.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dugath. Did the part about us getting annihilated by an archdevil not get brought up? If worse comes to worse,
Listen, all right, you'd have to convince Dragath. That is my statement.
That should be really easy considering I think his position is on the line too. So if one of us dies,
Well,
you
yeah,
know,
but
he
he's
won't.
I'll
also going to
talk to
hold
him.
resentment against us because we're the ones who caused him to basically fail.
well, I'll talk to him while I'm at the postage off or at the DMV, and hopefully get that approved. So Texas Red, if anything horrendous happens, any major fights break out, the anti-party comes to try and murder us. Send a message to DeGraff, and he'll pass it along to us.
Cool. I'll try not to die while that happens.
That is all we ask. Any questions about the plan?
What do we meet up? Do you want to meet up back here?
Original bar where we're staying at.
So the one I'm going to work.
Yes.
How long should it be? If let's just say, for example, you don't come back in 6 hours, what's the game plan?
Brian, how long did it take me to get the paperwork last time?
It took you like 2 hours, but you managed to get it all at the same time.
Okay, so if we're not back in 4 hours, send the ice imps to look for us.
All right, I shall do that.
We trust your judgment, Petra.
All
Now,
right, carry on.
Let's try to pull one over the anti-party. Damien, ready?
Let's do this.
Keep an eye out for any unwelcome followers.
I will keep my eyes and ears open.
Roll me a perception check. Also, roll me with the disadvantage because you know full well you're gonna have to roll with disadvantage.
I know.
That's pretty good.
It's
Pretty
safe.
decent. Pretty decent.
All right. Give me a second.
If there are more of them, for God's sakes.
No, there are
Most of them,
absolutely
alright.
going to be more of them.
By the power of being the DM, they have X amount of money, which I'm not telling you how much they have, because you have not defeated any of them.
We've defeated some of their minions. I feel like that counts for something.
Alright, Melissa, you don't see any. But you know full well that that does not mean that they're not there.
Yeah, they're invisible.
What's your passive perception, Damien?
20.
Damn. Okay.
But the
No,
thing with
reason
being
that Damon has to roll is because you have disadvantage to see invisible things.
yeah, and
Ah.
it's either I roll with disadvantage or I take -5 to my passive perception to make it 15, which either way it was the same result.
And on top of that, this isn't combat, so it's not like something when invisible and isn't using the hide action. These
Yeah.
imps are stealthily following the party.
Mm-hmm.
Petra, you have. I'm gonna just tell you flat out. You probably have no chance of seeing them whatsoever. But if you want, either you or Texas Red can go and roll me a disadvantage perception check to see if you can see any imps.
Sorry, who was that being offered to?
Petra and
Both
or
you
either
and
one of
Texas
you.
Red.
I'll do it. Or if Texas does it, I can give him an advantage.
No, you can go for it.
Alright, remember you have disadvantage to do this.
Yep.
Alright, Petra, you can actually tell that you're being followed by 2 more imps.
Damn.
And is this with the entire party still here, or is that just with Texas Red?
That's when you're just with Texas Red.
Texas, I think we're being followed again.
I see.
What would you like me to do? Nothing?
Nah, I think our buddy needs more people to play with.
Alrighty. I'll just keep on walking with you then.
Yeah, we should find an alley.
Ah. I think I saw one right over here.
Yeah, actually, this alley's given me some time to think. I think I figured out the answer to yet another question.
What was my other question again?
Well, let's look at the list and see what Texas Red just magically figured out. You know, I just have all those. Does anyone know where we put that
It's
list?
in
Is that-
voice.
Okay.
Oh.
Looking at party notes and I'm like, can't find it.
Oh, one of the answers. Okay.
Yeah, I can post that somewhere else if you want it.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's
one,
it.
Here, put it in quotes.
Let's see. We answered what, like 1 and like 6? Yeah, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll put it in party notes, and I'm going to pin it in there.
Party notes. You figured out the answers to what?
No, I'm just gonna give them a random ass answer.
We already gave them the fake answers to 1 and 6.
Yep.
We'll give them
no,
the real
give them
answer.
a real answer to 6, but
Well, yeah, but that's like, there's no hiding that.
what did Texas Reg figure out that would make sense for him?
Nyla.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. What plane did the Duke of Thunder reside in?
Acheron.
Well, clearly this is a trick question. And Nyla's greatest foe was the Duke of Thunder, who forced her to change her way and swear off her allegiances to hating the gods and ruined her character. So clearly it's Acheron. That's where her greatest foe resides, the Duke of Thunder. How could we have missed that? Petra, I know you don't know Nyla, but
Actually, I travel far and wide, Texas, and I've actually heard of this story. Where is this dumb Lamia who tried to kill on the Duke of Thunder's land? What an idiot!
It wasn't even a lamia. It was technically a worm. That's what most people don't know. But more.
Oh, so I should call her Worm from now on.
Yeah, she was technically a worm. But
I wonder how she'll taste.
I mean, if you try and serve me Nyla, I might actually have to take a bite. Anyway, Acheron is clearly the answer there. Anyway, we should get going again. I just had to say that out loud because,
Texas Red, roll me a deception check.
Can I assist him with that? Because I have advantage.
I mean, I think I
this is
should-
Texas Red just telling you information.
oh, I don't have my character sheet open. That's why I can't find my button. I mean, I think I should at least get advantage, Brian, because of all the party members, I would.
No, I take that back. I take that back because Petra jumped in. You know what? Yeah, I'll allow it. I'll allow it to be advantage.
No, I was just gonna say, of all the members of the party, I would be the only one that constantly forgets we're being deceived, or just doesn't care and has to be right. But let's see, how deceptive am I with this coming of knowledge?
Oh!
That's good.
Man, they really believe Texas Red would say it out loud, and they aren't entirely wrong. I got the answer, guys.
Petra, you can see the blurry image of an imp fly off into like on top of one of the roofs nearby. It's almost as if separating from you two to do something. You're not quite sure.
Well, with that amazing discovery, we should keep walking. Clearly, walking is jogging my memory, and I have tons of great answers and ideas. I think I can come up with more if we keep going.
Do you know what I think might jog your memory even more?
If you say food, I swear to God, I will kill you in this back alley and say an imp hate you.
I was not going to say food. I was going to say biscuit. Different words, but I suppose if you don't want biscuit,
Brian, I'm just walking away. I'm just walking away.
wait up, Texas.
Just silent treatment until we get to where we're going.
And I'll whisper to him that at least one of the imps flew off.
All right. We're gonna stick with Petra and Texas Red for a little bit, but Volk and Damien will make it to one of the offices without getting attacked. And we'll just say that you two are basically standing in line right now.
Excellent.
All right, Texas Red and Petra, you arrive at the inn you were just at.
Right. I'm going to walk up to the barkeep.
Yes.
Mr. Barkeep, are you looking for some extra funds? Get some extra money in your pocket?
Do you even need to ask? Of course.
Great question. It's more about formalities, you know. However, I am wandering chef who hails the mighty Lord and Savior Gordon Ramsay. I make food taste delicious. Okay, now here's my proposal. I will cook food for you. Get many customers inside your restaurant. Okay, and in return, you get most of the profit, but I want some sort of fund, some sort of cut for it. I do need to have your food and your just equipment, your kitchen, just so I could do this. Of course, I could always give you a sample first, just so you know what I'm capable of.
Petra, you do not need to roll to know that you will need to start specifying specific numbers. Otherwise, you're going to get that fabled 1% of 1% of the profits.
How about this? For every 3 coins that are made, for every 4 coins, I make 25% of the profit. How does that sound?
Roll me a persuasion check. Give me a sample and maybe I'll think about it.
Why, of course. Show me to your kitchen.
Yes, the kitchen's right over there. You're gonna have to provide me something without using anything from the kitchen, though.
Of course, of course. So, of course, this is just something I like to give out to people, just so that they can, just see what I'm capable of. Not exactly my best work, but here's a biscuit. I did very good with making this specific batch. Here, have a taste. As you can see, I'm going to give him one of my biscuits. There's taste. This is going to be selling like hotcakes.
All right, roll me a cooking.
All right.
Can you just take a 5,000?
I will
So that's
actually choose to
roll.
reroll that.
All right. All right, you got a 20. That means it actually tastes somewhat decent. I'm gonna say just on average in the Hells, you need an 18 or above to actually have it taste not like terrible food.
Okay. See, just sample. Okay. Now imagine what I can do with some fresh, high quality food such as yours.
Fine, but I will subtract from your gains the food that you use from the kitchen.
How much of food do you have?
Feel free to use as much as you want.
Well, as long as I make plenty of money, I think we're both in agreement. So I'm gonna shake his hand.
All right, now a informal contract will be made. You will get a quarter of the profits with a extra. All the food that you use will be subtracted from that before you get any.
All right. And with that, I'm gonna say, "Arise, my chefs! Arise! We have cooking to do." And I shall start putting on a show for our guests. And
Roll me a performance check and a chef's tools, and I think that's where we'll leave you for now.
Okay. Would you like advantage on the performance as well?
I would say it's pretty fancy. Yeah, roll me advantage on the performance, and then roll me regular for the chef's tools.
Okay, here's the performance, and here's the chef's tools. I will re-roll that chef's tools.
A lot of rerolls, but honestly, that 27 might make it worth it. All right, we leave Petra for now in the kitchen. Texas Red, you climb up the stairs in the inn, and you enter the room where the chests were stored, and where Gial was guarding them with Torun. Nobody's in the room. In fact, there seems to be a glaive lodged into one of the ice walls enormous sized, too large for someone of medium size to carry. The room looks like there's been a struggle. There is nothing else in this room.
I
Dang.
swear to God, Brian, if you kill Torun off camera, I'm gonna be so fucking pissed at you.
It wasn't off camera, it was off voice chat.
Same fucking thing.
Is there like a note attached to the glaive, or did somebody literally just like leave a big ass glaive here?
Yes, there does seem to be a note.
Oh man, it's so original! Look at the note attached to the knife weapon.
Alright, it just says, "Sorry, dears, I had to perform some revenge. Signed A."
Who could this be? Texas Red is stumped.
Alright, Damon and Volk, let's jump over to you guys.
I hate you so fucking much right now, Brian.
Alright, somehow Volk and Damien have made it to the front of the line.
Oh, before that, can we do the Dragath Sending Stone?
Absolutely.
Alright. I will call out Dragath on the Sending Stone and be like, "We are
I'm sorry,
incompetent.
what's this?
Dragath, this
There
is
is
Volk."
there is a completely different voice on the other end.
Oh, that's not good. "This is Volk Wolfheim, Paladin of Helm. I signed a contract with Dragath, Horn Devil, I'm pretty sure."
I'm sorry, but that person is unavailable right now.
Interesting. And do you have an estimation on how long he will be unavailable for?
Probably forever.
Oh no.
That's unfortunate. Okay. Well, if any messages come through for Dragath, is there any possibility that they could be passed along to me? We did have a sort of working relationship, and we were in the middle of a big job.
I'm sorry, who did you say you were again?
Volk Wolfheim, Paladin of Helm, Paladin at Law.
Let me see, Volk. Ah, here's Volk. Alright, you have been deemed an important employee. Of course I can do that.
Excellent.
This is just a question. Let's just say, because we're under contract by Dragath. Let's just say he's dead. He dies. How does the contract work out? Does it void it, or does it go to his superior? How does that typically work? Or is it written in the
That
clause?
would probably be something Texas Red would have to know, because he's the only one who holds your end of the contract.
So it
your-
depends on a
your
contract
version
by
of the
contract
contract.
basis.
Yes.
What are we asking about the contract again?
I
What
was just
happens
curious.
if Dragath is dead?
Oh. I don't know. Good question.
Alright. So, Damien and Volk, you reach the front of the line. Unless you want to do something in response to in response to
Nope,
actually
I'm
no,
okay.
you've gotten approved with being able to relay messages. So yes. You two make it to the front of the line. There's
Excellent.
a very exhausted looking spined devil. You know, one of the ones with the wings, and it's like,
Yes.
Hi there. I'd like to review all signed legal issued licenses I have under my name.
A name.
Volk Wolfheim.
Yes. Let me see.
pulls out a binder and starts flipping through it, and you realize it's flipping through keys. Picks a key and wanders over to one of the walls of ice and sticks the key in the wall and pulls out a ridiculously large filing cabinet.
This will take some time.
We have time for bureaucrats. We always do.
Excellent.
You just see Damien just fucking have a mini stroke in the corner, like he fucking hates paperwork.
All right, Texas Red. Let's go back to you. What are you doing? Dakota, you there?
Dakota.
All right, if Dakota's not there, then we'll go back to Volk and Damien.
Yay! Oh, I
Volk
miss
is-
Torun. He is my best buddy. I love him so much. It's a good thing that me and him have a telepathic connection that he can just talk to me whenever he needs any help whatsoever. So great
That's-
and comforting knowing that.
Mhm.
Weirdly specific thing you would mention. I guess that's good for them. Anyway,
Very uncomfortable if he went unconscious and was unable to do that.
Devil, I can't help but notice you filed that last form under C72-alpha. That actually should be triple stamped 73 Charlie. Just heads up.
The devil stares at you, glares, turns its head, flips back a few files, pulls out the file you mentioned, realizes you're absolutely correct, glares again at you again, and says,
These are confidential files. You're not supposed to be looking at them.
Maybe you
Of
should do a
course,
better
of
job
course.
of concealing them.
Dakota's back.
Hello.
All right. Well, here's your files. I think these are yours. Anything in particular you're looking for?
I'm looking for a reissuing of any contracts or any licenses I've.
I see. That
I've
will
received.
take some time. That's a lot of signatures. And also a lot of. Do you know what happened to the old copies? We can't have duplicates moving about after all.
Of course, I believe they were lifted from me while I was staying in an inn.
Lifted from you. Did you
Yes,
fill out a form that allowed you to be stolen from?
it was stolen from me.
And
Well,
Welcome
it's
to
still
hell,
out there,
Volk.
isn't it? It should still hold up.
all right, let me give you a file that says that you allowed yourself to get stolen from and lose your licenses.
I'll sign any paperwork you have. As long as it doesn't have to deal with my soul.
I mean, it all has to deal with your soul.
Well,
some
I mean,
way.
as long as you have the soul coins.
all right, you're going to be given a book, practically, of things to fill out for forms. Basically, to reissue them and to say that you are an incompetent nincompoop for losing your forms. And to say that, yes, you are indeed Volk Wolfheim. And that, yes, indeed, you went and paid in previously, but that does not mean that you don't have to pay again. And several other forms of which it basically moving around in circles.
Now, Brian, are
Eventually-
there any licenses here that I do not remember signing up for?
Are there any licenses you don't remember signing up for?
Yes.
Well, I think that comes down to a D2. All
Yes
right,
or maybe.
Ben,
Yes.
I need you to call it. 1 or 2.
2.
All right. You do recognize some that you did not get.
Yes. I closed my eyes. I was so nervous. Once again, another one of my plans that could have been immediately a massive waste of time and money if I did not get the right dice roll.
All right. That's going to cost you quite a lot because there's a lot more forms to fill out. I would say 8 soul coins.
Interesting. Can I also fill out a delay of payment form license?
Yes, you can, but that will cost you 2 soul coins.
Of course.
Hopefully, I make a lot of soul coins.
If not, by the time we end this, when we deal with this entire issue, we'll have all the time in the world. You rolled the 27, right?
And a
Yes.
pretty decent performance too.
All right. So you will fill out several forms, some of which will be for a license to steal from people, a license to commit espionage,
Murder.
a license to commit murder, a license to destroy vehicles, a license to hijack vehicles,
Vandalize property.
a license to carry Styx water,
Oh God.
and a license to pretend to be somebody else while filling out licenses.
Huh.
Okay. Well, for 2 soul coins, we got that. We got all of that.
Also, based off of the license to pay at a later point, the price goes up the longer it takes for you to pay back.
Of course.
As with any loan.
All right. Give me a solid 5 minutes to get my laundry. If you guys need to get a snack or anything, do it now so that we can further the horribleness that will come when we get back to Texas Red.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
All right. Dakota, it is only now that you remember something. Something important you should have remembered, and why that name was familiar. From Gial's question. It comes to you suddenly. Revenge? Revenge for what? And you remember that in her book, it said that she survived a massacre at Bogon.
The answer's 1.
We may have lost our long-term party members, but at least we got one of the answers.
Oh God.
All
Oh,
right.
fuck.
Can I take this glaive out of the wall and like put it into my personal effects?
Sure, you can carry it, but it is basically a 15-foot stick.
I'm sure we can find a use for it.
It will not fit into a bag of holding.
I mean, you can fit the majority in the bag of holding, and then it'll stick like 3 feet out. So.
Can I just attach it to my back or something without any notable disadvantage to my life?
I would say if you were a normal bearded person, but you are a barbed devil and have many spikes on your back, which get in the way of 15-foot glaives.
For now.
Oh man. Whatever, I'm just gonna drag it around for now.
I assume you have an 16 or 18 strength, so you can carry it around in a hand. It's just you can't really use it easily, and it will take up something in your hand.
That's okay. Figure it out later. Grab the note. I guess. Well, technically, Jirath hasn't messaged me, correct?
No, Jagrath has not messaged you.
So I don't know that I can use that as a communication method.
Roll history. Do you remember what Volk said to you specifically?
No.
Roll a history then, Texas Red. All right.
Wow.
You remember something that Ben wants to tell you. Ben, please relay that information. Make it up to 2 sentences.
If you have an emergency, use the sending stone.
Oh. I mean, he did say if we get attacked. We technically didn't get attacked, but somebody is missing. Can I just find an imp downstairs?
Yes, although I think you have to be more specific. Do you want like a frost imp? Do you want to like what kind? You're just looking for any imp?
An imp to send a message.
Sure. You'll find some imps and some spine devils sitting in what looks to be an area where devils are making them send messages around.
Alrighty. I need you to go to the DMV of the devils and find a person named Volk.
and tell them that Gial and I can't remember his name.
Orun?
Yes. Oh God. And Torun have been kidnapped by Adeline.
You also see a lack of 2 frost imps, who, by the timing, should have been there.
Big
Oh, that's not great. Oh, you know what? Better yet, I still have that other imp, right?
Yes.
Yes. I'm going to tell him that I will forget I ever saw him, assuming this message reaches my companions. If it does not, I will make it my one goal in life to hunt him down.
Roll me a persuasion check. Remember that this guy knows that you were in violation of your contract.
Yes. Okay. Uh, I'll do it for free. Yeah. All right. I'll be there real quick. All right. You never see me again. All right, bye.
Goodbye.
And it flies as fast as its little wings can carry it.
You need to pay for your food.
All right. Damien and Volk.
Before
You-
that, just
Oh,
a couple of things. I would like to apply, while we're applying for licenses, I'd like to apply for license to see other entities' licenses. And then I would like to request to see the anti-party's licenses by name. And then also our party members' licenses.
You wish for a license to see other people's licenses.
Yep.
Are you trying to work and are you trying to take my job?
Well, I
Are you
feel
trying
like
to take my job?
it's important to understand the lawfulness and structure of Stygia. And I have a great respect for the lawfulness and the order that you permit here. It would be besmirch the great name of Helm to not
We're
understand
trying to get
lawful-
dirt on someone we hate. No, we're not trying to take your job.
all right.
Christ.
Well, I mean, this is a place of spies, and unfortunately, you look to be neither employed by well, anyone here. But on top of that, you don't look to be very trustworthy. You're not really devils.
Isn't that the exact
I
point
get
of
that
being a
you-
spy?
I mean, I get that you're like I assume based off of that symbol, the 2 P's that you appear to be some kind of planar enforcer, like some kind of paladin of Helm. So I mean, I guess that you're lawful, but that really doesn't mean much here. So I don't think if you're not really employed by anyone here, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to allow you to go and get a license to see other people's licenses.
And while he says this, he's also doing a give me motion with his hand.
I think we have an understanding. You of course can't give that to us, but I seem to have requested a license for, and Volk will slide 2 soul coins forward. Oh, I just can't remember off the top of my head.
Hi, sir. You seem to have dropped a form on my end of the booth. Let me just grab that for you.
And he slides the soul coins off into a bag.
Yes, here you go, sir. Remember that comes with a 2 soul coin fee.
Oh, of course. You can add it to my tab.
Oh, of course, sir. Of course.
All right, so you owe 10 soul coins now.
Jesus.
Man, look at this guy spending like he's got a credit card.
Yep. Look, when your immediate future isn't looking too great, I think loans are the least of our concerns right now.
Biggest concerns.
All right. Yes, you now have a license to view other people's licenses.
All right, I'll do what I said before. The anti-party and also all of us.
All right. So you know that you would only be able to see licenses gained on this plane. Or sorry, not on this plane, on this layer.
Right.
So
I
before
want
you
to. Basically,
start-
my goal here is to see what the anti-party is capable of. To see
Gotcha.
if I can find a flaw of something they might not be able to do here because they haven't applied for a correct license.
All right. Since you're basically looking at forms and not filling out licenses, roll me a, I would say, intelligence proficient. Roll me an investigation, and if you don't have proficiency in investigation, gain proficiency.
Okay, Damien, can you help at all?
Damien will not be able to help you out because this is
No.
straight up forms. All right.
10.
Unfortunately, you don't see any kind of flaw. It seems really that they just got, at least to you, that they just cast out as wide of a net of licenses as they could have gotten. At least that they were potentially capable of without extreme amounts of bribery.
Okay.
Extreme
Other than-
bribery.
Other than the licenses you see there, you don't see much of anything else. In terms of things that they can't do, you can assume they don't have a license to destroy buildings. They don't have a license to.
So they have a license to damage property?
They have a license to damage property. No.
Oh, they damaged property. They left a very large glaive mark in an ice wall. Very inappropriate.
However, they do have a license to kidnap.
Okay. Do they have a license to adult nap?
You seem to be lacking a license to make terrible jokes.
Oh, add it to my tab.
All right, 50 soul coins.
Jesus.
We're gonna be dead next week anyway. There's no shot. Okay. So that is that with the pitter pat. All right.
Do you have anything else you would like to investigate?
No, I think that's it. We're definitely way out of money. But
Oh yeah.
you gotta spend money to make money.
All right. Unfortunately, we will not really. You know what? I'll allow you guys to collect early from Petra, but I would say that her actual money would come in after 24 hours, which would be halfway through the second day.
All right.
In case
Well,
you
we'll
guys
go back
forgot,
to the-
You're basically at like hour 12 of the first day.
All right. We'll head back to the inn.
All right.
If nobody's found us by the time I'm done looking through the monstrous pile of paperwork.
Yes. So you guys start heading back to the inn, and as you leave the door, a imp flies in at 1,000,000 miles an hour with a bloodied hand, and basically runs face first into Volk's shiny armor.
That's a mirror, bud.
You guys, the barb devil with the hat, you're Volk, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He said for me to tell you that. 1 second. All right. He said for me to tell you that that some imps and someone named Gial were missing, and also that you could let me go as soon as I relayed the message.
Done. Here go.
Done.
You're-
Go.
Let
Bye.
go. David, we gotta get back there.
Yep. Thank you. Bye.
All right. You run out into the cold, in the dark. The lightning crashes above you in a menacing manner as you arrive at the inn.
Whoa,
where
that
Texas
lightning
Red
is
waiting for
menacing.
you. All right, Texas Red. You see Volk and Damien run into the building.
Cool.
So,
All right.
What happened?
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let them. I'm gonna let them start the conversation here.
We just did. What happened?
It seems Adeline has taken Gial and Torun from their room. Here's the note, and as you can see, this is not typically my weapon of choice, but didn't want to leave it up there.
Damien, it is very clear that this looks like Gial's glaive, except like tripled in size.
Except big.
like
Huh.
Oni sized.
Like 15 feet long sized, as opposed to the. Actually, it's not tripled in size. It's an extra 5 feet long.
All right. Can we look around the room for clues?
Yeah.
You absolutely can. I'm only going to need whoever is investigating to roll me an investigation roll.
With advantage.
Does anyone
'cause it's
actually
multiple
have
people.
investigation?
I only have a +3.
Better than 0.
Alrighty. Wow.
All right.
11.
Based off of what you can see in the room, it definitely looks like some kind of struggle happened in here. It looks like some of the furniture has been smashed. There definitely looks to be like cuts from, it looks almost like some kind of creature's sharp claws on some of the walls, and it looks almost like drag marks, or like something has dragged its fingers along like the door frame.
Does it remind me of way back when we were in Death of Innocence, when there were those finger marks on the tree?
It does.
Good call.
There does not seem to be, at least based on your investigation, you cannot exactly tell how many or who was in this room other than probably an Oni. Clearly, though, signs of a struggle happened in here, like a fight. Whatever happened in here, there were conscious beings at some point.
Can we tell like how many people were involved in this scuffle? Did it just look like one Oni?
The ice is thick, and so only the marks made by actual, it looks like missed attacks, seem to have registered in this area.
Mm-hmm. Is there like blood around here?
Actually, Damon, roll me an insight check.
Insight. Fuck. Yeah, you know what? Blips.
That's a thing.
I have blips that I haven't used, and I don't know how long. I'm using blips.
And you
Another
can only
one.
use 4.
Boom!
All right, Damien, based off, okay, you do an insight check. You're thinking about what clues you have.
Mm-hmm.
You realize that the claw marks around the door frame almost look like something trying to prevent itself from being dragged out. In addition, is there blood? Yes. However, it is frozen to the ground. It is in small flecks. There doesn't seem to be any kind of pooling, really.
Okay. I point all of it out to everybody. Somebody was dragged out. So somebody had to see something if something big like that was dragged out.
I have half of an idea.
What the fuck would be
Obviously,
that
we
big
can
that
ask.
would be dragged out though?
Say your last question again.
What would they have brought in here that would have been dragged out that's that big though? Like those are big claw marks. Like that's like an Oni being dragged out. But y'all wouldn't have done that. Like he would have just like attacked her, and then if she would have ran or something like that. Like
Maybe
Wait,
somebody was dragging Adeline from not killing them right here. She's a very angry person.
Yeah, but like, we have to ask around because if somebody helped Jial and Torun, where are they?
With Jial and Sharoon.
Well, no,
No, where are Jial and Torun?
obviously, I'm thinking they've been kidnapped by Evelyn.
Yeah.
Who's Evelyn?
Evelyn.
Adeline. Not Evelyn.
We don't mention Evelyn.
Does Damien not know the secret?
No,
did
Damien
he just-
still doesn't fucking know.
Well,
Okay.
it's just you and me.
That's where it is. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think Petra even knows.
Well, of course, Petra.
No, yeah,
Petra's
no.
been here for 6 minutes. Not that we don't love you, Petra. But Damien, that's not important right now. What's important is we find them and get our stuff back. Our people, our vehicle, our equipment. The anti-party is not going to take a single thing more from us unless they do. In which case, that will be the last straw. I have half of an idea to go off of. Let's talk with Petra and the barkeep and hopefully formulate a bit more of one.
Oh, another clue that I should give you. The inside part of the door looks damaged, not the outside part.
Oh,
Yeah,
so,
so like,
they probably disguise themselves as us. And Jial or Tarun opened up the door.
I'm gonna try connecting with Torun, like telepathically or mentally or what, because if he's within like a mile or something like that, I can swap eyesight with him and like hearing.
Hmm.
I'm gonna try to do that. So you guys
Alright.
just see Damien just like quick take a
Damien?
knee and just like, okay.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh God, what? Constitution. All right.
That's pretty
get a
good.
plus-
All
four.
right, Damien, you look through Torun's eyes, and it is a colorful array. What I could only say is some crazy concoction of drugs.
Oh God.
You have no idea what's going on through Torun's eyes.
What about the sound? Like, can I hear anything?
It is just muffled nonsense. You're not exactly sure what's a hallucination and what's reality. You know that Torun is basically been delivered something awful, and it has to be especially awful if it can work on a devil who's immune to poison or being poisoned.
I'm gonna stay in there just like probably 30 seconds longer than I really have to. Just enjoying the experience while I can. Just
Yeah.
like, what the fuck
Because
is
you rolled
this?
high
Like,
on a Constitution save, it can be an enjoyable experience for you.
huh. He definitely gets distracted with it just a little. And just like,
Can we do
I
a
could
devil
ride with
blood
this.
transfusion?
A what?
oh,
You know, bleed him a little, give him some of my blood, get the toxin out of his system a little quicker.
well, we have to find him in order to do that.
No, give it to you.
No, we literally no. Like, all that this
I
is
know.
is just I see what he sees and hear what he hears, and he sees what I see and hears what I hear. And
Okay.
So,
So let's
after
go
like the
talk with
30
the
seconds
barkeep.
of me just like,
To see if they have gotten anything. So I'll walk downstairs.
Oh, also, in case you guys forgot, Damien and Volk, the chests that you had Jial and Torun guard are not in there.
Yes, they're super gone. I am acutely aware, which is why I was
Okay.
spending money with such reckless abandon. All right. Excuse me, barkeep. We appear to have an issue. Also, Brian, in the licenses that the anti-party has filled out, is any of them a license to pretend to be somebody else?
Yes.
Okay. An impersonation license.
Yes.
All right.
Sorry, I should mention there's like 40 licenses of just random crimes. So feel free to ask me, and
Look,
I
if
will
they,
divulge
I'm just
if
trying to
they have
look for a
any.
hole here, and I
No,
already kind of have
that's
one.
fair.
Okay.
They did damage property though, and I don't think they had a license for that.
No, they did not.
Okay. Excuse me, barkeep. We do have a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
There was a crime perpetrated at your residence here. A group of ruffians broke into the room that we were staying at, and I suspect, without a license, damaged your property.
These are quite egregious offenses.
Correct, they are. Which is why I seek information on bringing this ruffian to justice. Now, can you
Why
tell
should I
us?
help you?
Well, because we have the license to kill. I just said that because it sounds cool, not because it's a threat. But because this could be an entire legal issue spanning the entire length of Stygia, it would behoove you and behoove your patrons if we kept this issue under wraps and you were able to just provide us some simple information.
Roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
Yes. Let's go 2 and 3.
I would say...
Now 3, 2 and
No,
3.
that is a 2 and 3.
Oh my god. Oh, I'm the worst
Good
at
job,
life.
man. Good job.
Of course, you know what they say. Stitches get the stitches.
Stitches get the
So-
stitches.
Yes. It's because, that's the way it works around here. So, you're gonna have to pay up to, make it worth my while.
Volker put,
Barkeep, he's with me. As you can imagine, I've already made you plenty of profit. How about you just let it go this time? I mean, just look at all the customers coming in.
Very well. I'll subtract 2 soul coins from your payment.
Make it
Apologies.
1.
Roll me a persuasion check, Petra.
That would probably be just an 8.
I mean, I feel like I've given you enough leeway here. I've given you my whole kitchen. I'm paying you a whole 25% of the of the profits.
all right, that's
2
fine.
soul coins.
We need the information.
What do you want to know?
When was the last time you saw us enter this establishment?
Well, I would say 4 hours ago.
4 hours ago.
That would have been
And-
2 hours before Texas Red and Petra showed up.
Oh, we were so close. And did we take anyone with us when we last left?
Well, let's see. There was you.
Yes.
Pointing at Damien. Or sorry, yeah, pointing at Damien. And then there was actually I think that was it. Yeah, it was just you. And then you came out with like a bag. Like some kind of like one of those like big deluxe bags of holding. But like, the backpack kind. And yeah.
I have a question for you, Barkeep.
I only noticed that because you were carrying it a little funny, like as if one of the straps had been broken or something.
Was there a difference between my companion here and the person you saw 4 hours ago? To the exact detail. Did you see anything wrapped around him? Or not? Essentially what I'm trying
I
to go
can't
for.
remember that. I wasn't paying attention. I don't pay attention to the wrists of my clients.
You don't need
Speaking
to
of
roll to know that this is probably true.
Speaking of which, Brian, do we all still have our marking on? Nobody's been replaced.
You didn't check amongst each other, but
Can
you
we-
all seem to still have the bandages.
Awesome. All right.
So
Just
it's
wanted to
unknown
be
if
sure.
the markings are the same underneath them, but you all seem to have bandages.
Okay. Christ. And did you happen to see which direction they headed off?
Out the door. You can't tell. We don't have windows because it, gets the cold out. Or lets the cold in. It's what is in and out when there's a iceberg. It's kinda hard
Everything
to
is
tell.
ice. Yeah, it's kind of.
Right. All right. Well, we have no more questions. All right. First of all, Petra, whenever you have a second, come up to the inn room. We'll have a strategy meeting there.
Chefs, I will be out of the kitchen for a second. I expect you to hold down the fort. Pat, you keep doing what you're doing.
Your range for that spell. Actually, I can just look that up for you.
I believe it's 60 feet, and if we're like being vertical, I should be in range still, correct?
Well, is that a 60-foot cast or is that a 60-foot control radius?
It just says range 60 feet. A creature must be within 60 feet of you.
Okay, I'm going to assume then it's just the corpses. So you can basically travel as far as you need as long as you have concentration.
How big is the city? Like from
Isn't it like
where
the
we
cap?
are?
What do you mean?
Because for the shared site and stuff like that, it's as long as we're within a mile of each other. So right now we're working with a mile radius.
I would
Area?
say the main iceberg city
Mm-hmm.
would be no larger than 2 miles across.
Okay.
Assume that you're in the very center.
Okay.
And then the palace is, has several acres, but it's not like miles across because it's in the middle of the crescent shape. If that makes any sense.
Well, at the very least, we know that they're in the city.
Thank you. Thank you, Damien.
Guys, they are in the city.
All right, let me just draw you guys a terrible map while we talk.
Okay. So once everybody's in the room, I'll say, all right, on the count of 3, just to ensure that we're all still
Hold
ourselves.
on. Shut the door. Look around. Make sure there's no
Roll
invisible.
me perception. I'll say, because all of you are going to be looking around, you can just roll around or roll it normally. Damien.
18.
18. Yes, there are imps
In the
that
room
are
with us?
flying around.
Oh, God.
Shut the door. Lock the door. Tackle the imps.
All right. Petra, these seem to be probably the same imps that were following you in Texas Red. You have tackled the imps.
Mm-hmm.
Search them.
Yeah.
Take their knives. They have knives to kill themselves.
I would like to search the imps.
Damien,
Yes.
roll me an athletics check.
Ho ho ho.
Nat
Strong boy.
1.
Hell
Nat
yeah.
1.
22.
All right, you will be able to tackle them without damaging them in any way, thus not voiding your contract.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, they will be captured. Because you did not directly attack them, they still have concentration on their invisibility. It's a little awkward, but you can confiscate their bags and with a soul coin and a knight.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. We are
One
one
soul
less
coin per imp, or just one total?
1 soul coin per imp.
Sweet.
I would like to hold them as you hold a cat and just squish into the body just so they can't move. And just like walk them to like out of the room to the nearest balcony or something like that, and just be like, "All right, look, guys, this ain't worth it. All right, you're paid a soul coin. You spied on us. That's basically the extent of your job. All right, job's over. Piss off!" And I'm just gonna like chuck them out and try to get back into the room real quickly before they can, and then just like lock the door behind me.
Roll me an initiative.
Would I get a surprise round?
No.
Is it just Damien or?
It's just Damien.
Damien, if you can't handle 2 imps, oh my god.
Okay, I chucked them like as far as I could, like
Alright,
straight
Damien,
away. And B, I'm fast as
You close
fuck.
the door on one of their faces, basically. Like they basically reach the door as you close it in front of them.
Mm-hmm. I'm just like, yeah, no, bye.
Alright.
Alright, get ready for my awful map.
Like he thuds into the doorway. I'm
There we
just
go.
like, nah, ain't happening, bro.
Here is the awful map.
Okay.
So this is the isle where Levistus' castle is. This is the big iceberg, and roughly 2 miles across.
The iceberg is 2 miles across.
Yeah.
Okay, so they could be on the iceberg.
Well, so basically the.
Looks like 110 feet.
All right. Figure this out.
I was doing the same exact thing he was.
But yeah, so this is basically an iceberg that has been cut into dwarf style with buildings built into it.
Mm-hmm.
There are also passages and hallways that go through the inside to the other end and whatnot. For the most part, it is built on the surface of the iceberg.
So would you say that the actual city is something like that? Just like, or does it?
No.
The city actually go
Actual-
through the entire iceberg?
The city is more like. Here, give me a second while it shows up. Like that, where it's between the red and the black lines.
Okay, gotcha.
And then that's where most of the buildings have been cut into the iceberg a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are a few passages that go through the red section, but for the most part, it's just on the outer layer.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Something about the center of the iceberg being too hard or something.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know the science of anything here.
It's ice. Chopping ice gets boring. And where approximately on this iceberg would you say we are?
Let's say you are. You know, you're gonna make me just make another map for this, aren't you?
Yep.
Correct.
Perhaps 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there's in one. Let's say in number 2 is here.
Okay, so if this is 2 miles across, approximately this far is all covered by.
Okay, so we just have to check each individual inn and check each individual
Yes.
room.
So we can ignore the top half of, or like quarter of this.
All right.
We can triangulate them using Torun.
Now I know you have a very strong bond with Thorun and Gial, Damien, but I think it's best that we leave them alone for right now. Now, the reason I say that
They are
is
completely drugged up out of their minds, being held captive by literally our worst enemy right now.
yes, I understand that. However, you must take a look from a different angle. Okay. They won't hurt Gial or Toru. We have
There you
not.
We have no evidence saying that they will not hurt any of them.
They would have already killed them. Now you just you've
Well,
already seen them, right?
And I don't know if they would have just killed them quickly.
They want to
it doesn't
torture
seem
us.
like
They
they
hate
have
us.
They hate you. They want to use them for bargaining chip.
Yes, but they also want to torture them. I'm not about to let my friends sit around and be tortured while I do nothing.
And that's why I think you should hold back, Damien. Because if you get out of the picture, not only will you be dead, but also Torun and Gio. You have to be patient. Wait for the opportune moment. We already have spies all over the place, looking at
we
us,
really don't.
being aware of our
Oh,
every move.
not looking at us. We don't have anybody looking at them. We have no information on them whatsoever, other than the fact that they're not in the top quarter of the stupid goddamn island.
But and what I'm saying though, Damien, is that there's people looking at us all over the place. A bunch of different spies. The less information they know about us, the better. I don't want people splitting up and having them get captured, because that creates more of a disadvantage for us.
All right.
Does
So,
that make
Damien, are there any imps in this room?
Right now, no. There's two right outside the door, though, so you know.
All right. If you catch the imps, bring them to me. I will kill them. Because this has gone on long enough. This is a hostile action. We have permitted it long enough. Moving on, I agree with what Petra is saying. Although I loathe to admit it and leave our companions even for a minute in danger, I feel it would be better for us to not act so rashly and take a couple of steps to...
You're willing to just let our friends sit around and be tortured while we sit and do nothing.
Damien, we don't have a choice. We have no information.
We
Any
can go
move
out and
we try
travel,
to
and
make-
I can try to fucking triangulate where Torun is.
We don't have... The only thing you can tell is if they're within a mile.
Damien, I will help you because personally, if anyone's getting tortured, I'd rather it be me doing the torturing. Seems I'm missing out on an opportunity to return a favor, so I'll gladly assist. Also, Volk, in terms of killing them, I think we should just come up with a creative way to have them die but not kill them, because devil law still applies even if you're not a devil, technically. It's not like part of my explicit, like it's just devil law, less contract law.
We were brought in on Volk's contract. Volk was not brought in on our contract. He can kill whoever he wants to kill.
And I do have a license to kill.
And he has a license to kill.
All right. In that case, if we are going to be looking for them, let us all go together.
If you go together, that means that Petra will have only worked for like 2 hours.
Yeah, we won't have any money. My idea is Petra works for the hours. We get the money. We go to either an information broker or eventually find somebody who can cast Disguise Self on us. Get disguises. Look for Torun. The information broker should have information regarding where Torun and Gial are.
How would they have that information?
Because it's a city of spies. Nothing goes on in the city without 10 people knowing about it.
Then why don't we just call out the anti-party and tell them we want to have we want to square this up once and for all?
Because the anti-party has no reason to accept.
The sin of pride is a great thing.
The anti-party has beaten us time and time again. I don't think they're going to actually come out and meet us. And even if they did, they would have 10 other backup plans and would once again defeat us. We have never once defeated the anti-party.
We've never fought them in a fair fight.
Correct. However, the anti-party is never going to give us a fair fight.
Well, either way, I'm not one to just sit around and let two people that have served with us and specifically helped me just be victim to whatever they were up to. Being in the cave, knowing they were going to torture us once,
I'm letting the dog go.
have our teammates be in that same position.
GL's already been in a cave once, right? Yeah, Brian? GL was with.
Yes.
He doesn't remember that, but yes.
He doesn't, but I do. Yeah, so, torture's on the line here, and I'd rather not have them be tortured.
Then what is your solution? Just walk around the city.
Sure.
Walk around the
Life's
city.
always worked out for me randomly walking around.
I can keep
Has it
sending
worked out?
pings. Look, that's what I'm saying. If we book it through the city, I can send out pings every 100 feet.
And they will move them just as they move them to there. They can move they have spies all around the city. Our every move is being watched. We can't get through around the city with them knowing our identities. It's just not going to work.
All right, so Melissa, I will tell you based off of the terrible triangulation that I have done, the best you can narrow it down to if you stay here is you can narrow it down to possibly a third.
And then we know where to start looking for false Damien. That's the only one that we have any evidence is that they're impersonating me.
No, we have evidence that they're impersonating me as well, and Nyla, and Texas Red.
From where?
From the governors. They said our party came in. Also,
Right.
additional paperwork was filled out under my name.
Yep.
I'm gonna let you guys do some planning. I'll be right back.
So we don't have any way of counteracting the anti-party because they're watching our every move. We don't have the money for spies. We don't have the money for anything right now. And
so what are we supposed to do? Just sit around and wait for our contact to get a hold of us and be like, hey, how many answers do you have? And we're like, hey, we have 2.
No. We find a new one. We find a new information broker. This is the city of spies. There's going to be a way for us to do it. For us to get information. And there's for sure going to be somebody who can cast disguise self on us. Because it's just charging headfirst is never going to work. And I know it's not what you want to hear, but it's the truth.
Charging headfirst gets things done.
No, it really is not going to. Not when dealing with an
Oni.
Oni.
It makes things happen.
I'd rather die trying to rescue them than just sit here and then arrive at 2 corpses.
There's nothing. We can't do anything. If you charge to get them, they will move them. Are you just thinking that the Oni, who already has pulled all of this off, hasn't thought that we're just going to rush for it? Do you really underestimate her that much?
Do you think at this point they're trying to drag us along? They want us dead.
Yes. No, they don't want us dead. They want to torture us. They want us to break down. They want us to charge them. They want us to continue suffering. If we take a second and we try to counter-maneuver on them, to give ourselves a little bit of leeway, as terrible as it sounds, we don't really have an option. If you truly care about them, you have to go along with this. We have to give ourselves a chance of success as opposed to running off to our doom.
We waited before and nothing good has come of it, so... Damien, I'll let you make the call here. Torun obviously means something to you, and, I'm willing to go with whatever course of action you want to do. That means you and me roaming the streets looking for him and we die? Yeah, we had a good run. We already know that he's drugged out of his mind, so God only knows what comes next.
Don't go throwing your life away like this.
Yes, because I have so much to live for down in hell.
Why don't we go to 3 points? 3 points on this island. That might give us some idea.
It'll narrow it down to a third.
Yes. And as soon as we've narrowed it, we stop. We'll take the break. we'll plan from there. Because we need a starting point. Right now, our starting point is this entire goddamn island.
Fine.
I have a question for you, Damien.
Hmm.
How do you plan to pinpoint them exactly?
If I go to the
I do.
If I go to the very tip over here and I send out a ping, if Torun is within a mile of me while I'm up here, so that mile will be like if I'm up here. Fuck, hold on. He said it was 1,000 feet is 2 miles, so 500 feet, or 5,000, I should say. If it's within this area, that'll show on the ping. If he's
Okay.
within there, that narrows it down to just this little area. If he's not, go down here.
How does this scene work, though? I know you can see through his eyes, but is that the only way?
That's the only way that I know. Cause
Then-
I can't
Didn't
Can you
telepath.
hear what he
say he
hears?
was all drugged up?
He's
Let's
so
just say
drugged.
you-
He's so drugged up that I can't hear or see what he's hearing because he's not really seeing or hearing anything other than like hallucinations, basically. But it's the
Was
fact
that-
that I get a connection. If I connect, he's within a mile. If there's no connection, he's not within a mile.
Will these drugs impact you in any way?
They did when I did it before.
I mean,
Okay.
they tried. To.
Question for you, Damien. Would this banging of metal pots and pans, do you think that would stand out?
With how fucked up they were, I doubt it.
Because, I mean, technically, Petra could go around trying to drum up business, and then, assuming you have a link, I mean, it's a long shot, but I don't know how, like, acoustics would work. But if it could be high-pitched enough or loud enough, it might be enough for...
Well,
I mean, he won't
you would
know
have
what
to be close enough to them, so like we would have to be within like
Yeah, but if it's just
100
Petra,
yards of them.
if it's just Petra going around trying to, drum up business for the bar, right?
Maybe the only thing that I would be worried about with that though is that I'm basically blind and deaf the entire time that I am going through his senses. So I would have no way, like, I could tell you guys, now I hear something, but how, like, am I going to be walking around blind and deaf holding on to one of you guys?
Well, wait,
Trying
don't you
to-
already have a connection to him here?
Yeah, I do, but that's what I'm saying is if Petra, so right here, he's within this entire area. Like, the entire, all this, he's within this.
Yeah.
So if Petra started walking like all the way down here, say I hear him right there. How are we gonna get in contact with Petra if I'm sitting at the inn? If she's all the way
Well,
over here.
If we pick a route and we time Petra's stride, we can guesstimate it.
Maybe. I feel like that's drawing a lot of attention to Petra though.
It would be. But Petra is also a very draw attention to herself person as it is, with biscuits and whatnot. So it wouldn't be. I wouldn't say it's out of character for Petra to do something like that to try and sell or market her food.
Just so you guys know, you should probably take care of the imps outside the hall first, because they might know about this plan already.
It's a solid ice door. There's no way they can hear it.
Well, and also I'm assuming
Also,
that we know that they're there. We're not gonna be yelling our plan, being like, yes, we're doing this. We're probably huddled on the other side of the room, making sure the door stays closed.
Just making sure.
Also, they're probably going to figure it out. What we are doing.
Like, really, we only need 2 points. Because if I go up here, if it's not within a mile up here, go down here. If it's within a mile in here, we know that that's on the south end. If it's not within either of those, we know that it's in this area. And the thing that, like, if we did go to another spot, I would go on this side, so then we know if it's in the tip or in the main portion of the city.
All right, so we're leaving Petra here to finish her job. In that time, we're scanning. I don't suppose we've checked on if our vehicles are stolen or not. I assume they are.
I thought we got parking for them.
We did get parking. We didn't make it illegal to steal. Of course, we do have a license to steal vehicles now.
Yeah.
So, I guess we're just waiting for Brian to get back.
Oh no, I'm here. I'm just waiting for you guys to come up with
Okay.
a decision.
Also, Damien, when the door opens, grab the 2 imps again. I'll take care of them.
Alright.
We know everybody knows what their part of the plan is.
When do you
Oh.
want me to go?
Who's all going with who?
I think we're all going with you except for Petra.
Okay. Do we really trust that? Trust that
Petra
they
has
won't realize that she's a part of this?
the.
Considering that these two imps
Does the
were
anti-party
disrupt-
have a license to disrupt business?
If they didn't have a license to damage property, I doubt they would have thought of a license to disrupt business.
I need it. I need the words from Brian.
Do you have a license to sell things?
No, for the anti-party, did they have a license to disrupt business?
No.
Okay, then Petra should be
before
safe.
Before you question whether Petra can go and work inside the kitchens, probably considering she's basically working as the equivalent of a servant or something.
Mm-hmm.
So she could work under someone else's permissions, basically.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, no, we just wanted to be sure the anti-party can't mess. Petra, if anybody assaults you, ask to see their license for disrupting business. The law will always be on your side if you can
Do
study
you want
it
me
enough.
to go now, or should I wait for after this shift?
Continue cooking. We'll need the money.
Okay, so once I'm done with my shift, then I walk around and try to get more business for the next day, correct?
No. Just
No.
just
we're-
finish your shift. We'll do the walking around.
Finish your
Alright.
shift. We'll come back here once we're done doing our beacons.
Okay. Damien?
Alright,
Hey.
so if we're going to assume Petra is not going to be interrupted, we can figure out how much money she makes now. Otherwise, we can hold off on that in case she gets interrupted. Yeah, we'll hold off on that in case she gets interrupted. Let me just put in a counter for how many hours she's worked. Give me a solid second to slap that into scheduling. Alright, so Petra, you have worked a total of, I think, 3 hours now.
Sounds about right.
I'm going to say, because of your role, we're going to give you a D4 soul coins for every 2 hours you've worked, plus basically a soul coin per hour.
Okay.
So if you work 24 hours, you get 12 D4 plus 24 soul coins.
Sweet.
Sure. I don't need to eat or sleep at all, so.
Alright.
I can't open the party inventory too. Somebody. I'm gonna try reloading.
Yeah, right now we have 558 gold, 4 soul coins, and miscellaneous weapons.
Okay.
Actually, no, I do need to sleep.
You can sleep when you're
Sorry.
dead.
You don't just
Like a
don't
real
need to eat,
chef.
drink, or breathe.
Yeah, I don't need to eat, drink, or breathe. That's what it is. I have to still sleep.
Alright, so yeah, you will not be able to work for 24 hours without getting an exhaustion. So
12 hours then?
12 hours would work, yes. So you're already a third there.
Okay.
I'm
So
also going to say, once you finish working here, you're probably not going to be able to work again for the sake of allowing your character to have relevance in the game.
Yes.
you have relevance. You are our moneymaker.
Yes, but it's not so much fun for Matt to just roll 3 times, and that's pretty much.
Can we
all
just
you
get
I
an
also
NPC
just want
that
to
makes
be
money
able
for
to
us?
be in combat for Petra because I have some surprises.
Mm.
All right.
All right. So, while Petra is working, what are the rest of you doing?
Brian, first quick question. Are our vehicles stolen?
Are your vehicles stolen? No.
Really? Awesome. All right, then let's take a vehicle and we will perform Damien's plan of flying or driving around the city and getting the pings. Damien, explain it so that it makes sense.
We're gonna go to the very tip of this part of the city, and basically, I'm just gonna take a few seconds to try to do the telepathic bond with Torun and see if I can connect. So if he's anywhere within here.
All right. Yes. Here will be a ping.
Okay. Um, that actually narrows it down very well. Should we do it like here then? Next?
Wait, Melissa, hold it out as far south diagonally so I can make as big of a circle. All right. Give me a second to. Oh, that's not going to work.
I think if you hold Alt.
Well, no, it's
Alt
just
or
the fact that
Shift?
it won't go any larger than the sides of the screen or the sides of the map.
Oh, gotcha.
Do that again, and I'll just freehand it. All right, so like that, kind of.
More in.
Whatever, it's close enough.
Yeah.
And then can you go from the end? Like that.
Yeah. Okay. Huh. All right. And we go back to the inn. That was, huh?
So what, like right there?
No, it's somewhere in this area.
Okay.
So yeah, let me just trace that out and delete the big lines. No, wrong tool.
Here.
Otherwise, you guys can continue. Oh, come on. Keeps switching the colors on me.
That area.
Oh, all right, that works too. Thank you, Melissa.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, all right, it is still like half a mile long.
Yeah, but
it will take you, I would say, 2 hours to search properly.
yeah, which right now we're not searching that at all. We're
No, I'm just saying, if you were to go basically down each street looking for any kind of, you're basically looking for your vehicles or looking for any traces of fake use, it would take you about 2 hours to search the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Back to the inn.
Right, you make it back to the inn. Petra is still making food.
How much time does she have left before her full shift is done?
Well, let's see. Your vehicle moves about like 20-ish miles an hour. It took you basically like 20 minutes to do that, 2 pings and come back.
Okay.
So yeah, you did 2 pings. You did 20 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. And how many hours is Petra still working?
So
About
it's
8 or
been-
something. About that.
It's 3.3 hours out of 12. ish is what Matt said initially. You can work 8 if you want. But that would basically be another 4 hours and like 40 minutes.
Okay. So we have the estimated area. While we're waiting for Petra to finish, I'll ask the barkeep for a different information broker that he could direct us to.
Why are we asking for another information broker?
For disguise self.
What are you telling the bartender? Roleplay it out for me. How can I help you?
We need another information broker, different from the one last time. Can you assist us with directions?
I mean, I could, but I can't just be giving out information here for free.
Even after everything Petra's done for you in the kitchen?
Persuade.
Rollin'.
It looks bad in a town of spies if you're giving out the information for free.
Well, I rolled a 19.
You're right. Petra has given me quite a bit of profit. Very well. Any information broker you're looking for particularly? Any particular set of skills?
Anti-spy in disguise.
Anti-spy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very common thing here. And disguise self, you say?
Correct.
Looking for a place to purchase scrolls, or do you mean someone who can cast it on you?
Either or.
Yeah, either or. Well, yes, I
Scrolls
don't know.
are pretty pricey.
That's what I figured.
I'm not sure you have the coin.
Well, we probably do not.
Then you probably want someone to cast it in person. Then give me a hot second to figure out who can cast disguise self.
Okay.
All right. You're probably going to be looking for, well, let's see. Spellcasters that can cast something like disguise self are unfortunately not as common as spell scrolls or magic items that can do the same. But if you're on a budget, there might be some individuals. You see, we need spellcasters to. 1 second. Yes, we have ways to make you look different. Unfortunately, the ones that can cast that. Well, we typically the most common way of building in the ice is through magic. So we'll probably be looking for some of the construction guilds if you want the very basic, cheapest stuff. But no guarantees that they can cast disguise self on others. Considering, normally it's only on yourself. You're looking for someone who can do some weird things with magic. I've heard that we've got some people like that, but they're going to be doing more of the risky stuff. Those pillars that get shocked by lightning. Some people like to collect the energy generated from that for purposes. You might find some kind of spellcasters there. Otherwise, your best bet is just going to getting a spell scroll, but you'd have to somehow get the money for that.
All right. So the information broker that specializes in anti-spies.
He did not give you an information broker.
He did not. He just gave us the disguise
yes,
self.
Sorry. What are you looking for specifically? What do you mean by anti-spy?
Anti-imp cover, so that our every move isn't watched by imps.
You see, the fun thing is you basically robbed a bunch of imps of their soul coin page to watch you. Any imp is willing to take that soul coin and work that job. And you would know that without having to ask anybody.
Oh, did we end up adding those soul coins to our pouch?
No. That's why I said I couldn't access it.
Oh. So there were
It seems
two imps,
the going
right?
seems the going rate for spying here is 1 soul coin.
Right. We are up to 6 soul coins then.
All right. We're only in debt 44 more.
4
I was
more.
joking about the 40 for the bad jokes, so you're only in debt for 10. Plus any extra depending on how long it takes to pay it back.
Right. All right, then let's find some imps and try and get a cover for us. I mean, how good are imps at seeing other imps?
They're okay. They don't have any
There's
special
there's
ability
no
to
specialist.
No, there's no special ability to see invisible things that imps have.
And unfortunately, there is nothing in hell that I'm aware of that would benefit you.
Yeah.
Here, let me stop you guys from moving this around. There you go.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so let's find some imps. We can do that while Petra's working.
Yes, the information network is particularly strong. It is pretty easy to find imp bars. If you have any particular choice in the matter of which one you want to choose.
We're looking for the most cutthroat, the most deadly, the ones who we're willing to do anything for money. And
That would
those
be
with
all of them.
keen eyes.
Sorry, that would be all of them pretending to be like that.
Can I roll an insight check to see which ones might give me the best?
The best results?
Yes.
Absolutely.
20.
You walk into an imp bar and they all turn toward. You hear the soft sound of a tiny piano start playing, and suddenly, as you enter the room, it stops as the imps look towards you, and some of them say,
Hey, boss, you got a job for us?
and like you look around and you see some imps sitting brutally in a corner. These ones look definitely like the most edgelord and the most skilled.
All right, I'll walk up to the imps and I'll say, I've got a job for some cutthroat imps. I'm talking blood on your hands, license to kill imps. Do you fit the bill?
I'll do anything for a soul coin.
Soul coin up front and whatever you get to keep from the imps you kill.
Deal.
There are
Do you have a
imps
preference on how?
messily.
Well, I can do that.
All right. How many do we feel? How many bloodthirsty imps do we feel we need?
So far, you've seen the anti-party have hired 5 to your knowledge.
All right, I say 3.
Well, sorry, there were 5 to your knowledge. There are currently 2 to your knowledge.
I say 3 to stop
3.
them, stop any more from
All right, how much are you paying? They're paying 1 soul coin.
soul coin each, and they get to keep whatever soul coins they get. Kill any imps spying on us.
So you want us to follow you guys?
Stalk us from the shadows, yes.
Stalk the stalkers.
Of course, of course. Well, looks like we got a job to do. Lead the way, boss. We'll be following right behind to look for any invisible spies.
And I will walk out of the tavern, the information bar, the imp bar.
All right. So you are now followed by 3 imps. Let's say that takes up another hour. Anything else you want to do?
Excellent. All right, we have those. Oh, let's scout out the pillars. Where are the pillars at on this map?
Yes, so the lightnings, they strike certain areas of the iceberg. And
Are we visiting
and
those?
some of them strike these pillars coming off like some kind of crystalline structure off of the top of the iceberg, and they seem to glow for a bit before slowly fading in color. These are probably the pillars that devil was talking about.
I kind of lean over to Volk. Do you think if I touch that while it's not glowing, it'll still zap me?
I'm sure the Samsarans would pay to, or not the Sims. What are you part of again? It's the
Sensates.
Sensates?
I'm sure the Sensates would pay a good fee to find out.
I really want to touch it.
I know you're going to.
I'm gonna go touch it. I hope you know that.
As they say, you're gonna touch the butt.
I'm gonna touch it. I'm gonna touch it, Brian.
All right, so
Do we have an actual reason for going up there, or are we just?
No,
doing
I
this
just
for
kind of
me?
wanted. I just
Hell
wanted
yeah!
to know
All
where
right,
they were
let's
at.
do this. No, we're going up to the
I
nearest
guess
one.
we're going.
Nope, we're going
So
to
you
the
can-
nearest one. And then,
I mean, Damien, we'll have plenty of time.
but
I just
Volk,
wanted to be sure they weren't difficult to find or anything like.
Volk, I swear to God, if we don't do this right fucking now, you guys aren't gonna let me do this later. Because I'm gonna forget and none of you are gonna remind me. I guarantee it.
Damien, I give you my promise that I will remind you
No offense,
to
Volk.
touch the lightning bolt.
No offense, Volk. I do not trust you to remember to remind me.
I am gravely insulted.
I
After
want to
everything
go
we've
touch
been
that
through-
goddamn crystal, Volk. I am going to
Alright.
touch that goddamn crystal.
All right, as you approach one of the crystals, the air kind of smells of ozone, and as you continue to move towards it,
I prepare for the
your
zap.
fur starts to stand up on end a little bit. And then when you get within 10 feet of it, a lightning bolt jumps out and hits you. You're going to need to roll me a dexterity saving throw.
It wasn't even glowing, though. That's okay. I kind of expected this to happen. Alrighty. Dexterity saving throw. Wow.
All right, you take half damage.
No, I don't.
Evasion.
That is correct. Because of
Evasion.
I
And
remember when
you
evasion.
somehow matrix dodge
I
this lightning
dodged
bolt
lightning.
for the second time on this iceberg.
Actually, you know what,
dodged
Brian?
lightning.
I think I took damage from last session from a lightning
No,
bolt.
you did not. No, you did not.
Yeah, you didn't even get hit with one. It's
Oh
just
yeah,
the imp
it
got
was
hit
the
with
imp.
one.
It was the imp. Okay, no, you're right. You're right. Yep.
So basically,
I
you
just dodged
dodged,
lightning.
96 damage of lightning.
Whew. Hold on.
It would have been this many.
If you rolled max damage,
I thought you said 96. I was like, oh my god.
no, if you rolled max damage, then I may have gone unconscious.
And as the lightning fizzles after its missed shot, you hear that the stone is no longer making a bit of a bit of a humming noise. Your fur is no longer standing on end. And then another lightning bolt strikes the stone and it starts becoming more active again, but you quickly take a few steps back before it decides to start zapping you.
How much time was there between when it discharged and when another lightning bolt hit it?
I would say you took a bit of a breather in order to like you basically moved very quickly, you know.
Oh, because I was wondering, because like, was there enough time where I would like stand there and I would be able to like go up and like kind of touch the inert stone?
If you wish to touch the inert stone, you can absolutely do so.
I would like to do so and just make sure that it's like.
All right.
Does it feel weird?
All right, Damien, you're touching the stone that produces lightning. You don't get to dodge this. Take 9 damage
Ouch.
as it very faintly zaps your hand.
Ouch. That hurt.
But you see the lightning coming towards the
And I run away.
the stone, and you basically run out of the way before it can zap you, actually damaging you a lot.
Huh.
In terms of how frequent these things are getting struck, pretty frequently, somewhere between like once every 10 minutes or so.
Gotcha.
And considering that there is a lot of them, there is a lot of lightning bolts going on in the sky.
Mm-hmm. All right. I have been momentarily
Satiated?
My curiosity has been satisfied.
Are you
We can go back.
Shifter Cat by any chance?
What's it to you? I do look like a lion, if that says anything.
Folk is pinching the bridge of his nose.
All right,
Alright.
Local pinches the bridge of his nose for an entire hour. As we'll zoom time forward a little bit. Texas Red, do you have anything in particular you want to do? Cool. All right. Right about the rest of you.
Go back
I
to the
continue to
inn.
cook.
Don't die, Matt.
We need Petra's food.
Or else we're all done.
Otherwise, I can just fast forward time and say that you guys can take another short rest.
Is that
Yeah.
All right. We will say that you guys take a short rest. Petra, you can finish off your working. We'll add.
So it would be 64 plus 6, correct?
So this is going to be yes, 64 plus 6.
All right, one moment.
And with that, day 269 is going to become 270.
Nice.
You know what the fun part of 270 is? It's divisible by 30. You know what that means? I'm going to need some wisdom saving throws from people.
Ah.
Oh my god, for fuck's sake. God damn it.
Right. Also, that is going to be... Sorry, I was wrong. That is 64 plus 12. So that is actually going to be 28 soul coins.
Excellent.
All right, Petra. Luckily for you, a 9 passes. It's
Oh
as
my-
strange as this may seem. You have
God.
not committed any major crimes as Petra.
Yes.
I want you to realize how low of a check you need to make, or you need to fail, or if you don't do anything bad here.
Oh my god. So just because Nile was Nile is why she failed so often.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I mean,
a
Damien's
base-
failed like twice, right? Twice too, hasn't he?
In the past, yes, but you also look at your wisdom save compared to everyone else,
True.
which is funny because you're a monk.
Yeah.
All right, so everybody will pass their save because Jake is not here. We'll say that he passed his save.
Did someone record that soul coin in the tracker?
Which one?
28 soul coins have just been added to the tracker. Does anybody add them?
I have not.
All right, then somebody add 28 soul coins.
Oh, I did.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, we have 32 now. I minus the 3 for the imps. I think I can do math right.
Probably should also pay off your debts before they become higher by interest.
Volk.
Correct. We'll stop by after.
Some strange reason the line moves a lot quicker when you're going to just give money to them.
Crazy.
Just a coincidence. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. So, we now are going to get disguise self cast on us by some sketchy man at a lightning pillar.
Okay. Who do we want to disguise ourselves as? Do we want to disguise everybody as one member of the party and split up so they don't know who to follow? Do we want
I'd
to
say
disguise
disguise
as
ourselves
random
devils.
civilians? Random devils?
Brian, in the last hours as Petra was cooking, did we hear any horrifically brutal murders of imp on imp violence?
Did you hear any sounds of imp on imp violence? No, but you have heard Damien has heard this soft thud of something falling against the cold snow and ice a few times.
If I
Excellent.
look behind, do I see possibly a mutilated body that I just ignore?
No, but you do see an imp shoving a suspiciously shaped thing inside of a bag of holding.
Just look the other way. We're good.
All right.
Oh wait, give me a second. I may have just discovered the spell you were looking for.
Is it disguise other?
Yeah, the spell is seeming. It is a 5th level spell.
Jesus.
What do you mean, Jesus? That's like regular level. If we're
It would
level
allow
11
all of you to change your appearance for 8 hours, though.
that is way
All
better
right.
than 1 hour, which
Yeah.
is what I thought we were getting.
I told you I don't normally interact. I told you about that spell earlier.
If only we had a wizard in the party.
I can be a wizard.
Yeah.
Not really, but
I thought seeming was like, it seems that it would work well, as opposed to the spell seeming, because I was unaware seeming was a spell.
I'll let it slide.
Like I do, like a lightning bolt hits you. Okay, do you mean the object lightning bolt, or do you mean the spell lightning bolt?
Yes.
Both. Both of them.
But reading your thing, yes, you're absolutely right, Gary. You did in fact tell me the spell seeming. Alrighty. So, will you venture up the unpaved side of this mountain to where the majority of these pillars are?
Yep.
For obvious reasons, they have not built much around these, probably to reduce the risk of people getting shocked by lightning.
Nah.
Do we disguise or decide what we want to disguise ourselves as? I say we disguise ourselves as devils, specifically bearded devils. Brian, do we see a lot of bearded devils in this town?
All right, let me post the spell, if that exists on here.
Hey, Brian, you're the DM. You can make it exist.
No, what I mean is, all right, I cannot post it. I have to slap it into somebody's character sheet. All right, let's just give it to the obvious guy who would have it.
Geol.
Hey, Soreth, you get a new spell.
No, wait.
Well, clearly Damien's got a new spell. Because, the spellcaster he is.
Alright, and make this public. There you go, you can see the information.
All right.
That is the description. You may use it as you will.
Bearded devils are about our height, right?
Bearded devils are like 6 foot, sometimes 7.
All right. Well, I mean,
Texas Red
well,
is like pushing 8 foot tall.
he'll be a tall bearded devil because we can make him a foot shorter.
I don't want to be shorter though. I want to be taller.
In terms of the makeup of the population of this iceberg, it would be there's a bunch of imps. Spined devils are a lot less common than normal, but they are still prevalent, but mostly on the lower floors. There are bearded devils, barbed devils, and then it starts becoming sparse until right around basically ice devils. But there are some they're rare, but there are ones like that orange devil who was the seeker.
Do we see any particularly unhinged individuals?
What do you mean?
Like the barkeep mentioned that only a crazy person would do this. Do we see any crazy devils?
Or people who look like they've had stuff blow up in their face a few times, similar to
People
that
who
of
might not be
Damien.
afraid of experimenting.
Anybody who looks like Damien.
Roll me either a perception or a luck roll. I would say you would need to roll a. Let's make it generous, an 80 or higher on the luck roll. Otherwise, you will need to roll me a perception to see if you can find somebody.
Damien?
Would I get advantage on the perception considering that I look in the mirror every single day and know what a crazy person looks like?
No.
Damn it. 16.
Not bad.
16.
Mm-hmm. Not great, but...
What are you particularly looking for in terms of crazy?
More like Doc Brown crazy.
Yeah.
And not like Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Hannibal Lecter, to be perfectly honest.
See, I'm looking for more of a Doc Brown with like the frizzy hair, the wide eyes that are like constantly looking everywhere.
Unfortunate for you guys, but most devils do not have hair. You know, which is a little unfortunate when you're looking for the poofed out, I've been shocked by lightning kind of style.
What about singed ear tips?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Because they're immune to fire, but they're not immune to electricity.
Correct.
So singed ear tips or like fingers or something like that.
So you are looking for somebody capable of casting wizard or sorcerer or bard spells of a 5th level.
Yes.
Which is pretty high level for most.
Yes. And you gotta have pretty good charisma for those too, or those classes.
Are any of these guys wearing a silly wizard hat?
Particularly, you would be looking for devils above a barbed devil, so the more uncommon greater devils.
Yes.
However, with your check of 16 perception, roll me a insight check.
Insight?
I can assist.
All right.
You realize that there probably is a reason that they're collecting this electricity. And perhaps there'd be somebody trying to sell this lightning in a bottle.
Okay.
Volk, I just had an idea pop into my head that people might be trying to sell lightning in a bottle. How do you think that would taste?
First of all, no. Second of all, this might be our lead that we need. If we can find the person trying to sell it, Perhaps he's a higher. It's a higher up devil. And they can be the one who can cast some. Maybe a bit of. We can see what we can do.
That's a bit of a stretch there, Bulk. A bit of a stretch there.
But I paid the gold. Or the soul
I'll
coins.
allow it. I'll allow for now.
Okay. So do we have a feeling that it would be sold near the bottom of the altar or near the top? Do we think that's the major
you'll-
collection point?
The collection points would most obviously be in this red area, if you can imagine this red area being the top of the
Iceberg.
iceberg.
Okay.
But the markets probably be around somewhere along the coastline.
Mm-hmm.
The most obvious part would probably be this section that I just highlighted over there,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere along there.
Somewhere along here.
Yes.
Excellent.
So right, facing the island that contains the castle of Levistus.
Okay, so let's go shopping for some lightning in a bottle. Can't be that hard to find, right?
Obviously, it's not going to actually be a lightning in a bottle. Why would I
But-
ever sell such a unique and amazing product to simpletons like yourselves? What?
Can we do a nature check to see what it possibly could be turned into? Or a insight, maybe?
Survival, or I could allow you to do some kind of knowledge arcana check.
Oh, yeah. I got arcans. 19.
19. You've heard that lightning could be used to power some sorts of arcane machines, or to be used to fuel certain types of alchemical reactions.
Oh, that sounds like the perfect Doc Brown place.
Alternatively, just the sheer fact that there are crystals here that can charge that can hold electricity. There probably is a market that sells just these like electricity crystals.
Okay. So let's take a look in this area and we'll look for any like Magitech devices or these electrical crystals. Electrolyte crystals. It's what plants crave. And we'll see if we can't find any.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go back to that 16 in your perception. And you will find a few stalls that sell that sort of thing. Now, are you looking for particularly the storage of this electricity, the crystals themselves, or some kind of combination of the two?
We're looking for the devices that would use them, that would
Devices
utilize
that would
these
use them.
crystals.
All
Or
right,
this power.
yes, you will find a few markets of that. Based off of the prices, it's obviously way overpriced.
Of course.
Stuff that you probably would never find a use for. But you can ooh and ah the machines that you have no idea what they do.
Okay.
At the stall itself is a ice step.
Damien, what do you think? Do any of these look like particularly unhinged individuals?
I like the ice devil.
You like them?
Yeah.
Your insight's telling you that?
Yeah.
All right. Then we'll walk up to the ice devil. I suppose I'll walk up. Everybody can.
Hello. How can I help you?
Told you.
Greetings. We are looking for a service that we are hoping you can provide. I assume,
Service?
judging by your magic tech devices, you have a great understanding of the arcane arts. Am I correct?
I have some knowledge.
Well, this is a city of subterfuge and intrigue. We could pay you quite handsomely if you could alter our appearances through your great arcane means
Oh,
to be something not
I guess
like
I could do
ourselves.
that. All right, if you're not going to buy my wares and just want me to cast a spell on you, I guess I could do that. But
And
it won't be
what's
cheap.
Of course not. We can pay.
You're looking to disguise yourselves? How many of you are there?
1, 2, 3. Just 4, right? I want to be sure I'm not forgetting anybody.
All right. I can deal with that.
I'm so used to saying 5, but Torwin's not here. Neither is Gio.
Yeah, I miss Jake too.
All right. In that case, let's see. It's a pretty expensive spell, to be perfectly honest with you.
Can I roll insight on that?
The parts are not here, and I gotta use those spells for other things. You can definitely roll an insight.
Or can I roll Arcana to see if he's bullshitting me? Because I
You
understand.
can roll an Arcana.
16.
He's definitely playing it up to be more expensive than it actually is, at least in your opinion.
Well, if I remember correctly, and do correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the spell I'm looking for is only a verbal and somatic component.
Right you are. But, it does not change the fact that it is still quite taxing on the body. A lot of
Of course, we can pay for
a lot
hard.
of complicated gestures. But, of course, I assume beings like yourselves can pay. I think since there are 4 of you, it would only be fair if we said 8 soul coins, 2 each.
Exceedingly reasonable of you.
Can I roll some sort of check to see how much normally this would cost? Because that 8 soul coins seems a little excessive.
Absolutely.
What am I rolling? Is that going to be insight?
Roll me an insight and yeah, just roll me an insight. Yeah, you could probably talk this guy down a few soul coins.
Ooh.
If you want to tell Volk that, or if you want to butt into the deal.
My friend, I may not look like it, but I cast spells myself. And although it can be quite taxing, some spell like this isn't quite as taxing as I think you're letting up to see. So I like to knock down the price a couple pegs, okay? How about 5 soul coins, and we recommend your business to other patrons out there?
I think you're absolutely right. If you want to go and help me to hawk my wares, you know what? I do you a service. All right. 7 soul coins, and I toss in the electrolysis machine.
Can you describe what the electrolysis machine is?
Well, you see, if you put in like the if you put in electricity, right? What you can do is you can turn water into explosives.
And how much would these machines cost separately?
Don't worry about it.
Also, where do we get the stuff that we put into these machines? Like, you have to have electricity. I assume you have like the crystals and stuff like that that get shocked.
Well, yes. But
how much do those cost?
Crystals come separately, obviously. You gotta charge the crystals up, or you could get the electricity somewhere else. How much do the crystals cost? Normally they run for like 2 crystals. Small, like half a foot type thing.
I say instead of 7 soul coins, we meet in the middle, 6 soul coins, and then that machine. And of course, I
Roll me
recommend
a
business
persuasion.
cards.
Can I
Can I do
assist?
if I bring up my name and how I've been really good for business?
Probably not here. Probably not here.
Can I assist
You
in
could,
this
you
check?
could probably throw your name about in other bars at this point. Can you assist? Sure.
Well,
The assist helps a little bit.
7 full coins it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 7, but you know what? First crystal is free, or sorry, first crystal half price. Let's not be too generous here. I have a reputation to hold.
That's true.
All right.
And she knows on Sunday, a week from
Can we pay for the crystal in gold?
I'm not going to be there. So.
Gold. Fine. Very well.
Take your entire.
Alright, so in case you don't know, basically you put water into the thing, slap a crystal on it, and you get oxygen and hydrogen gas.
Could we
Can we-
somehow calibrate it and make it so that they're explosive bullets?
You would need another machine on top of that.
Okay. I tried Texas.
Yeah,
You
I'm not sure.
You also need some way to utilize the oxygen and hydrogen and put it somewhere in order to use it as an explosive gas.
Seems like big dangerous.
Okay.
Seems like fun.
Then let's go find. Let's get
I mean,
this cast on
Shouldn't
us.
Damien have PTSD from cannons?
Honestly, I think Damien doesn't have the capability of getting PTSD from anything Damien has done.
I think Damon has experienced too much brain trauma that he just doesn't understand what PTSD is and just like continuously does stupid fucking shit.
You see, Matt, Damien not only dodged the lightning bolt, but touched the magic electricity crystal.
That is true. Yeah,
that
is
literally
true.
caused the lightning bolt.
Quick question. The type of devils that are walking around. What types are they?
Like I said earlier, you're going to get your standard garden variety of lesser devils, which are going to be your imps, your spine devils, your bearded devils, your barbed devils. Marigons will be only around some of the really higher ranking devils, in which case here would be Amnazu. You've got your ice devils as the majority of the greater devils, but you will see occasionally a horned devil or an orthon. Orthons are basically mercenary devils.
Okay. So I'm thinking bearded devils. Also, Damien, can you do a check for our lovely little spies?
I want.
Yes, there are some imps watching you visibly.
Yeah,
But
boy.
you're not sure if they're your imps or if they're other imps.
I'll talk to the ice devil and I will say, of course, we should get this done behind closed doors. We don't want many prying eyes.
Well, step into. Let's step into my workshop. Give me a second to close the shop.
And the ice devil will call down a few imps and spine devils to go and clean up the shop so that there's no wares that are capable of being stolen. And then walks with you to one of the buildings about a few streets down.
Come inside, and we'll change you up a little bit. Now, remember that this is temporary, it's not permanent.
Of course.
I am not responsible if this spell gets dispelled on you, and also not responsible if you are in a bad location and this ends.
Ryan, that's some specific foreshadowing from a seemingly random vendor.
Listen, I am trying to go and cover all of my bases here because let me tell you, the number of times somebody's like, "Why did the spell end?" And I'm like, "Well, did you wait 8 hours?" And they're like, "Well, I thought I could take a nap." No. Listen, I am not responsible for the stupidity of mortals like yourselves. I'm sorry. That's a little rude, but I get all heated up when people accuse me of horrible things like cheating them.
We
Have you ever did
promise.
cheat anyone?
Have I ever cheated anybody? I'm a devil, of course I have. But not anybody who didn't deserve it. And you guys took my machine and you paid a reasonable rate. I am happy. If you don't believe me, I'm more than willing to give a contract.
No, we trust you, sir. We just curious. Small talk. It is 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Are we
Okay,
gonna
so
want
if
to?
if we want to end the session right before you guys transform.
Yeah.
That'd be ideal for me.
All right. Add that you have an electrolysis machine.
I have already added it.
All right. Let's go through blips.